I've seen modern stuff. I would say we get this Commodore one.
He's the whole series of he's on the 64 is the last one, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a 7-part series. I finished the first 3 parts, which is the pit, the Big 20, and the 64. I'm about to do the +4 episode. I'm going to start working on that in a few weeks, and then the 128. And then I'm going to do an episode on some of the peripherals and then the Amiga. And that close it out.
If you, the 128 you asked about a D,
Yeah.
I was going to say I put out the DFW retro.
Yeah.
Group reserves that.
Well, I've been looking to just buy one, but I really, truth be told, don't need one. Like, if I could find one, the problem is, I'm really picky about the equipment I show on my channel. I want it to look pristine, especially in the documentary episodes. And a lot of the ones I find on eBay or that people have offered, I had a guy offer to give me one the other day, and I looked at it and like, it would take me 2 months to fix that up to the point that it looked presentable, you know, and I'm like, there's not time for that. I gotta find one that's in good shape.
That's what mine looks like if you want to.
Yeah,
Well, that's your butt out.
Yeah, that's my
We were
230.
talking about a Commodore 128D.
yeah,
That's the one I have the most immediate need for.
So if you,
Yeah, this one doesn't exactly look stock though, because it's got the CD-ROM and the floppy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's in good shape though. Other than that.
yeah, I got retro by the 1200.
Is this how slick this thing is?
that was pretty slick.
Are those people out there in any way connected?
No, I think they're waiting for an airplane.
Now that I said you do.
No, it's okay.
This bird's trying to go
There's
up.
some time there.
It's still sitting.
It just runs.
Runs. Actually, that's one of the things I like about that game. Because, you know, there's certain aspects about some side builders like Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, why does it need a level timer? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Once in a while, I guess it saves you random reset. It gets stuck. I've gotten stuck before. So I guess that was a saving grace. You said there's a little timer out.
No lie.
Yeah.
It's not like a reset button. It's that hard to push on.
Yeah, but if you're on like level 2, 3 or something, you only go back, play it over again. You might as well do it live.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, I've been in that. I've done that a couple times with Mario. My wife always likes to tell me it's better. She's which is true.
I don't suppose you ever use that.
What's
It's a
that?
big 20 motherboard. Did you hear about that?
No,
Oh.
Well, I don't know why I did it, but I bought 155 Amiga, or not Amiga, like Big 20 motherboards from this guy for $3 each, and they're sitting in my garage in big boxes. I'm about to start going through them and test them all, but I don't know. I mean, I'm going to sell them on the website,
Yeah.
but I offered to buy them. I didn't visualize the sheer amount of space that 155 motherboard. Yeah, because I'm thinking motherboard's not that big; they're real thin, you know.
Yeah.
But 155 one does take up quite a bit of room. Yeah.
So, you know, I've seen where, you know, where you shoot your video and stuff. So do you have like, you've got to have a museum inside your house.
Yeah, it's in a whole other room.
Yeah.
And I've actually got an attic that has 700 square foot of floored attic space in my attic. And it's really hot up there right now. So it does have a fan, an outdoor fan blowing in there. So when I say really hot, it's not as hot as most Texas attics. It's like maybe 10, 15 degrees above ambient, but it's 100 degrees outside. That means it's 115 in there. But anyway, I got shelves and shelves full of all the stuff that people donated. And then I've got like the best stuff is downstairs, of course, in the house, and it's in the. I've got them on the shelves, out on display, and everything. Yeah, and there's, I mean, the stuff I put in the attic is most of the stuff that's already broken or already needs restoration work, which is 80% of what I have. Unfortunately,
I started shelving stuff out in the garage. I have a 2-car garage plus an office. Pretty stone roof, situation, so it's kind of less stuff. So I haven't moved my office out there, but yeah, a few of the projects have gone out to the garage. It's like, yeah, they're broken already. Texas heat won't kill them much worse.
one of those motherboards I'm going to store probably either in the attic or in the outdoor storage. Really, but I don't
See what I
think
can do
people
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
my
Very
wife-
much on own work.
when I got on the Amiga kick, gosh, probably like 2010, I was
Ken's
buying,
usually there by
I had a
now.
3,000, 4,000, I had a 1,200, I had a few 500s. And my wife was like, what are you gonna do with all, where are you gonna put these? I'm like, I don't know, but I like them though. And she's like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, well, I really don't use this one. I'll sell it off. And then an emergency happened, and I'm like, I need money right now. So the 4,000 had to go, that's the one I really regret selling. I regret selling that. And so now I'm kind of getting back into it again, and I've got you've heard of an X5000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
RBC.
The new Amiga. I've got one of those.
How
And
does that work? I'm serious.
it's the best Amiga emulator you've ever bought.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, it runs old games really quick. I mean, if you can't afford a 4,000 tower, buy one of those.
They're cheaper than the 4,000.
Yeah, you can buy.
I got a 1,200 and 500.
Yeah.
And the deal, we were doing a travel trip, I was like, there's this storage underneath the dinette. It's yours. It had, whatever you buy has to fit in that. So I had a 128, an Apple TC, and a Spectrum, and one time, 500 and 1,200, the second time, right under there. And so it was every square inch of that sucker was used, but it fit.
Yeah. So I got an X5000. All the other Commodore equipment was gone, but I bought this X5000. And it's actually, the hardware is really, really, really good on it, but the OS is really lacking.
Is it 4.1?
4.1, yeah, and it's a beta version. And so some stuff works okay on it. Sometimes you'll bring up something that you know should work, and it just locks the whole machine up. And yeah, I mean, something simple like a spreadsheet or something. And so you're like, really? So you reset it. And then there's MorphOS. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
know what
that
MorphOS.
runs on an Apple.
Yeah, and it also runs on a G5, you run it on an iBook.
I installed it on a Mac Mini G4 a long time, but I just couldn't figure out what to do with it after.
And that's the way I was when I first, I'm like, what good is this? So I put OS 10 back on it. But now, I do have it on the X5000. I was going to install it on my iBook. And the problem I had, because the hard drive died, and I said, oh, I'm going to put a CF card reader. Put a CF card reader in it, and it'll install OS 10 just fine, but it will not install. MorphOS will not install. It doesn't even see it. But OS 10 sees it, and it'll install just fine. So it's some quirk with the operating system.
Well, the
MorphOS works pretty good on the Commodore.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah.
I was gonna say
And that's the
CFs usually have a flag that says it's removable. I had that on XP.
I got it running on the MCCC drive.
Yeah.
It's the last one.
That's the,
The
was that the
1139 with a high resolution screen.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, with the CF drive.
yeah, it was usually those are tagged as removable or. So I ended up what I ended up doing, mine was put in, I put an SD in.
Oh,
Because it's dead low. And usually those will appear as a hard drive. The CF sometimes do and sometimes appear as removable.
Yeah.
I had the same problem with Windows XP on a laptop. I was dual booting. No problem. DOS 98, no problem. Windows XP just did not. Didn't want to work. And then I cracked the LCD on that and trying to find a replacement.
Another.
235, is this all?
Yeah,
It could be. Yes, it is.
This is it.
This could be it. That's amazing.
Like I said, it's like sometimes it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes there's.
Last month was lots of people here.
And apparently SX664s.
Yeah, I bought that. I said, I gotta get rid of this and pile it table there.
Does he have any idea? He apparently have any idea what those suckers go for on eBay.
Well, I don't have one now because I don't have a room for it, but a few months go to certainly take one. For $100
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
I'll probably pay $200 for one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen it for 3 or 4. You know, the craziest thing I've seen of late is voodoo cards, 3DFX voodoo cards. It's called Voodoo 5 AGP, $1,600. Well, what I read about the situation is the InGlide software and stuff that makes NVIDIA stuff, there's a whole host of 3D games that you want to play that were designed for the Glide API that only need 3DFX. Now, would I pay $1,600 for that? No. But the InGlide and stuff, the libraries that try to compensate and emulate the Voodoo card, I guess are getting that. So. But it's like, wow, $1,600. It's like, because that's not, I mean, that's barely retro. I mean,
Yeah, that's.
but I wanted to build a K62, but those are getting, I have a K63 processor, Super 7 boards, that's the one thing I've been looking for, is a Commodore related, but I'd love to rebuild this K62 I have. But his first computer I built was a K62. And also one of the cheaper PCs I was ever built, $700 or $800. Back when they computer shows, we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I had a friend of mine who was the best at wheeling and dealing. And he went through and said, "Well, you're wanting $100 for that motherboard. We had this processor over here. Maybe give that for us." I mean, we walked out. I got like $1,000 computer for $700, monitor and all. That's one thing to look at. Tag on anything. I mean, anything short of being a penny and Ford, it's just about triple in price of late.
And I don't understand. They can't be that rare. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
and eBay's the worst anyway.
eBay's one problem is eBay's about the place to find this stuff unless you go to something,
Right.
somebody, Craigslist once in a while you'll get a find, but.
That's probably one of the most common emails I get every day is, where can I find X? It could be Commodore, Apple II, whatever, and they say besides eBay. And I'm like,
eBay?
I'm like, well, you can check Craigslist. You'll need to check it every day for the next 6 months, and you'll probably find what you're looking for. You can go to estate sales every day for the next 6 months, and you might find what you're looking for. But if you want it now, you're gonna have to go to eBay. That's, I also said, you can go to this Facebook group, like Commodore 64 Facebook group, or the Apple II Facebook group, and ask if anybody has one for sale. Sometimes you'll find somebody.
Yeah. Well, that's been like the London PC group. It's like, I joke and they always ask you the quizzes and you enjoy the group. What other members, group? I finally just start answering. I'm a member of almost every retro PC group, Apple, Mac, Amiga, Commodore, anything you can think of, save maybe Radio Shack on Facebook.
But that's where I'm often recommending people go because so many people email me wanting help with something. Oh, can you help me repair my Atari 400 or my Apple IIc or whatever? It's got this problem, whatever. I don't have time to troubleshoot 40 people's computers every day, so I just direct each one of those people. I've got kind of a little list of links that I keep in a notepad, and I just cut and paste. So you need to go to the two group over here. They will help you with that.
There's an autoresponding thing in Gmail. You might it's like you gotta pick this one. I've used that before.
But I'm always directing people to those groups, and sometimes after I've done that, I'll see like a couple hours later that person posts the message there. But most of the time, they just disappear. It's like if I'm not giving them the help they want,
that's what it works.
they don't really.
Yeah.
Well, like with the Amiga stuff, what I've learned very quick is that most of the stuff is getting hoarded up. If it comes out, it gets hoarded up by these collectors.
Yeah.
And then they won't let it go. It was like I'm looking for a it's called an AMAX 2 Plus card.
Oh, I know what those are.
And
we almost got one.
And I used to have one. And it was really cool because my brother had a Macintosh. And basically, they worked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, because this is more nostalgia for me, just trying to rebuild the old 2000 I had back in the 90s. And I had a bridge board too, but I'm really looking for one of these AMAX 2 Plus cars.
What was the 2 Plus?
Well, there was the AMAX 2, which was like, it was about this big, about this wide, and it plugged into the disk drive port of your Amiga. Yeah, so the 2 Plus was actually a physical Zorro card that actually went inside the computer, and you had a floppy connector, and it, you plugged one end into the AMAX card, and then you plugged another floppy out so it could read Mac floppy disks, and had a set of ROMs on it.
Yeah, those were the trick of, my father, when we had the 2000, almost got an AMAX 2 Plus card. And he's like, well, they want to get rid of it, really good deal. Then later, like, Apple locked the ROMs up where we couldn't get them out. And it's like, I mean, it was like $150 or some crazy deal they offered. It's like, I wish I got that Max at school when I was in middle school. And so, we had the XT bridge board in 2000.
Yep, that's what I had.
I had AMX, but I didn't have any of the physical hardware with it. I used to use it on my Amiga 500, and I had a whole bunch of floppies that were like custom. It's like their special little format that you can use on the Amiga drives, but they work interchangeable with.
Yeah.
So I had some software I could run, but
I have a couple software emulators with 1200 because 1200 is, I have a 60 or 30 card. It's as good as a decent classic Mac.
Right.
Of course, I've got PowerBook 520C, that's a 48.
yeah, there's a Commodore 64 emulator. I'm sure what it's called.
AMAX 64 Max.
Which one's that?
Oh, the A64.
A64.
Yeah,
It was a Commodore 64 emulator for the Amiga, and I knew I used to try to run it on my 500, but it was too slow. And
Now,
to
200,000.
get it too much, and I wondered how to perform on some of the other Amigas.
Yeah, I still have the, this day still have the, they're like floppy.
Oh, no.
Dad kept that. I went through my parents' basement a year ago, and it's like, I walked out of the box, I'm imaging everything we got. I went through all the CDs and discs and just built this images for everything. And I found some of that hardware. Because we didn't have that much Commodore 64 stuff because I traded my 128D in for I got the Amiga then. And so, but we tried it when I still had the 128D, and it was just a lot slower. That was kind of, Amiga was a shell shock to me. It was like, I had like 200 Commodore games, probably half of them not legal, but the 64, I don't know where they came from, I was like 10. But then I got the Amiga with 4 games. And being in the Midwest, there just wasn't Amiga groups and Commodore groups in the rural Midwest. So I think I had the Amiga for like 9 months before I got 386.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Good.
No one said to bring something or not, so I bought something.
Hey, yeah. no,
It's loaded with about 2,000 games on that flash drive, so.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure to get here this time and what's going on. What's the word? Anything?
We kind of waiting for more people to show up.
Yeah.
This boosted us 100% here.
There you go. Stuff.
It's too bad Dr. Clue's working during these times, I guess.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they don't come to me since.
Since we moved it around, I guess.
And he was all for it. He said, let's do it. That's Sunday.
That's
Yeah, but I guess you're right. Well, yeah, to me, it's a lot easier, but then I've been trying to change jobs and, my daughter
I found
moved to Oklahoma and I had to move
soccer
her
app on
one
my
weekend
break
and
it down doing that.
that's been,
One of those, like,
I feel like the only time I was like, these guys probably think the only time I want to be part of it is when someone's selling something. And I'm like, no,
That's
it's not,
$56.
Yeah, I've noticed that there comes a point though when
I'll grab my laptop.
Well,
Fair enough.
It's on
I'm
the Amigo.
upgrading, I don't need this anymore. And then
Yeah, I
they're almost considered a throwaway.
I guess in a way it
Then
is.
everyone
It can
checks
run
them
Amigo
or
as
whatever,
we
recycles them. And then there's like this small resurgence of people looking
Yeah.
for them. And then these other people, oh, hey, there's not a whole lot of these. $300.
Yeah,
$300? Does that sound good?
yeah.
You're like, I'm not giving you $300 for them.
Yeah, it's not worth that much to me. I'll jump to the Athlon, the AGP Athlon board if I do that, because those are like a dime a dozen. I'm just like, I like that. And I have actually the processor in case it's floating around that because of the upgrades. You know, you can take those and add more RAM. Oh, I get K63, get K62. So one gets thrown on the shelf, the board gets tossed is the problem. So that stacks of RAM processor.
What kind of RAM? Is it DDR, DDR2, or older than that?
It's SDR or DDR1.
Okay.
I remember which it is.
Yeah, I guess anything Athlon would probably be like
Athlon
90s,
DDR.
2000s.
Yeah, the Athlon, I mean, if you have slot A, it would have been like 99. Because I remember the time period between 97 and 99. I went from a Pentium 166, I paid a Gobstock in 94. And that was pretty good. Like 233s were the best. Pentium 2 was get out.
Right.
And we jumped to 1 gigahertz Athlons. We did 2 generations and 5x clock speed.
Yeah,
2
it's
years.
a blink of an eye.
Yeah. And everything just jumped suddenly. And so, I mean, that's what I was talking to them about. I had a K6, the first computer I built. I went to Toledo, and I went to Fort Wayne, Indiana. They had computer shows back then. And you go and have all these vendors come to Memorial Coliseum. And I had a friend at Wheel Deal. I had like $700 at the time, 17-inch Trinitron, a 3D accelerator, K62, I don't know how much money I had in it, you know. All the things at the time. It was, you know, it wasn't top line. Pentium, the funny thing is the Pentium 2, the speed high-end Pentium 2 cost more than that whole machine. And it was, you know, 10% faster.
Jeez.
And so that's kind of, I want to rebuild out my oldest. And so I just had trouble finding a K62 board.
Yeah, people are probably just sending those to the shredder. I don't think anybody necessarily stops them before they fall out.
Yeah, and so what's happening now is people realize that, you know, you got a K62, a Super 7 board, which was the board with the AGP and the DDR, I think. So you get the PCI ones run Pentium, no problem. But you want the AGP and the DDR. What's money for? I'm like, yeah, you know.
What's this for?
Oh.
Kind of part of it?
First computer I ever built, late 90s, K62 with AGP. And I'm having trouble I'd like to rebuild one. And
K62.
AMD K62 processor.
Okay.
Super 7 board. What they call it, Super 7 socket, Super Socket 7.
Okay. Was that back when like the P2s were around?
P2s, yeah, AMD it was right before the Athlons came out.
Okay. Okay.
And so AMD had the K62, which was a competitor generally to the Pentium 2. And so they went ahead, Intel went slot 1, AMD kept with socket 7, but they added the AGP and the DDR and all fixings on it. And I can find a regular socket 7 board that's going to hobble the machine. The Super 7 boards, you know, back then you could get them no problem. And so they're I guess rare now. I sold a Voodoo 5 card for $1,600. So
Voodoo
5?
Well, it depends. Is it a PCI or AGP? Because the AGP ones they're a lot easier to find because they have a different voltage on them, and if you plug those in an old board that does they're like 3.3 volts, and the boards are like 1.3. You can blow up the
whole board. You gotta watch those.
Exactly. But the PCI ones, they have a standardized, you know.
I can't remember. It was just
those would go for big bucks. Because I had one, and I think I eBayed it because I didn't have anything to plug.
I had a Voodoo 3 back in the day on one of my AMDs. I think it was K62.
Because I still have my Voodoo 1, the 3D Diamond Monster. I had that one, and then I had dual Voodoo 2s, SLI, for a little while. And then, but I skipped Voodoo 3.
I remember that, the Voodoo 3. It was on that. I think I took the Matrox out and put a Voodoo 3 in. But the Super 7 board was the right voltage.
Yeah.
That was a trick. Those were
what's the big attraction for something like that as opposed to something else from the time period? So
it's what I had.
Okay.
It's the first computer I built. I went in you went to a computer show, first time, usually, you know, parents pay for it. I went to Sears and I got a discount on my Packard belt one. This is one I went through, bought all the parts, went home with a screwdriver and built it.
I couldn't even tell you it's the first one. I guess to me, it's just more about running with the old software. That's what kind of brings me into Amiga.
Well, that's what I had. I have laptops. I borrowed his idea to do a laptop. And I have a Pentium. This is just one of the things my son was, I built a AVFX when the Ryzen stuff came on. Because all the FX stuff got super cheap. And so this is a project with my son, you know.
No,
It'll play that nice era of 3D gaming.
Yes.
I'd love to get a Voodoo, but I'm not paying $1,600 for it.
Because I know what you're talking about. There's actually some. Oh wow, that's cool. Awesome biplane. The deal is I'd like to be able to build a Windows 95 machine with the Voodoo One, so you can play some of those old 3D effects games that you cannot even emulate.
Yeah. So that's and what I've been reading is like, because I thought about getting like an NVIDIA part of the era or super, and use NGlide. I've read it's very hit and miss on it being able to handle those games.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a translation layer. So yeah, the Voodoos, I guess a lot of people are wanting the Voodoos to be able to play glide games. I'm not that into the Voodoo stuff. I just want to. I have a K6-3400 sitting on the shelf. I mean, the board's the problem. So, graphics card. If you don't want a Voodoo, you can get a Radeon. I mean, I can get a Radeon or a TNT-2, $20.
Yeah. So anyway, enough. You need to monopolize everything.
Go ahead.
You guys.
They were having fun.
Yeah.
We were chatting about. I think we were chatting about a few of these things. But,
It's good.
yeah.
I finally got I wanted to get one of those new Amiga 1200 cases for that Kickstarter that they had. And so I didn't sign up for it because I don't trust Kickstarter. And then they came out and everyone was kidding them, great. And it's just like, oh, so I try and get one and no, you can't get one. And so then they finally, we're finally going to get one or whatever, you can pre-order something. And I always thought pre-order means I can put a little bit of money down and then they charged me the full, Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, and
What color did you?
black. But I went with black because, I've got the original, whatever. I went black, but where I was going with this was since I missed the cases, and they were successful with it, I went ahead and did the keycaps. And so I ordered like 3 sets of the keycaps, 1 black and 2 regular because they fit like different Amigas. And then now it's just like, they just don't ever talk about that anymore, and you don't get much updates. And now it's like, oh, we got Amiga 500 cases coming out, and I'm like, oh, what about the cap? That's exactly right. And it's like, oh, Chinese New Year, and I understand some of that. It's going to be delayed. I don't get upset about that, but it's just kind of like, are we still doing this?
I had that problem with not the people who do the Vampire. I was looking to get one of the memory CF things, my 500. And so I email the guy and say, hey, do you have any of the whatever 8-day versions 500? And he's like, yeah, you'll need this adapter with it, and it's this plus, whatever, PayPal, 3%.
Yeah, the gift fee, so you can't.
Well, and he's like, well, I can do the gift or I can do the other. I'm like, well, I'll pay 3% to do the other. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Safety, because it came in handy in about 2 months. And it's like, well, I have these on hand, I'll ship them out. So should we still buy? Hey, stabs my order. Nothing. 2 months, almost 2 months go by. And I finally, PayPal, I have contacted the seller 6-7 times. I can't even get a status. If he said it takes a month, because my 1541 Ultimate took 6 extra weeks. But they communicated that because what happened, they had to do a solder jumper on 1,000 boards.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not in a hurry for it. Just communicated. It showed up in February or whatever. And this guy just would not respond. And I finally but I tell you what, when I had a refund in 35 minutes from where I
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
because I thought PayPal just watches out for PayPal. And I thought that they will screw over anybody. It doesn't matter who it is, but if they have to pay money,
Well, they
won't
didn't.
do it.
He did. He had ignored all my emails, but he got that one from PayPal saying, hey, I'm requesting product for refund. He had refund. I got my money back.
Oh, but he hit
He
the
did.
refund?
Oh,
But
he
he
did.
ignored because the first step is
Oh.
PayPal will send an email to him on my behalf. And so, and I'm like, okay, I'm nothing against the vampire stuff. If this is the way I can get a super little memory thing they have,
Yeah.
you know, you
Imagine what how it's
Yeah.
gonna take to get somebody developed.
yeah, they're
Right.
developed. And so I bought a side rider. It's like big and bought it from Italy, but
So did you have a vampire?
No.
Oh,
after that, I won't.
I tell you what, I've read a lot of horror stories about that vampire team. Where
Really?
they'll, I mean, you
Just like Commodore.
you cross them. I mean, these guys
These
have
are
got
contacting people at work, yeah.
Yeah, they'll contact,
Your boss.
yeah, some guys, like one guy that I communicate with, his name is Keith. The vampire team contacted his boss, basically fed them a bunch of lies about him to his boss, and luckily he just, yeah, you know, you got an unscrupulous guy, because he developed the SD net adapter for it. He developed that on the side, had nothing to do with the vampire team, but the vampire team didn't like it that he had developed this
Yeah.
SD Ethernet adapter, which I don't even know really what it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess they feel
Yeah,
that
I saw
he
that.
shouldn't be making money off of developing a product for their you know, accelerator.
Oh,
card.
wow.
It's and then if you go in the Facebook groups, another guy had it happen, and another guy, and then somebody came on and said, well, now we know why
They do registration.
when they do, yeah, you read that too,
Yeah.
why they're doing, because they're asking a lot of information in the registration, like where do you work, what's your work number, people are putting that garbage in there, and their content, you get cross with them, or if you sell the vampire card to somebody, the new buyer gets no more upgrades, you know, it's locked, you know, they locked it into that original purchaser, which is, that's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, some guy didn't want it. You know, that'd be like, you know,
Like
buying.
selling a used car.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You pay money for it.
Right at first sale is what it's called.
Yeah.
They don't,
And I mean, assuming he didn't sign some kind of contract, like this is proprietary information,
Yeah.
and you will not,
Yeah.
or I wait so much
NDA or
time.
something.
At least not a Ford
Yeah.
GT, where the Ford GT, they said, you know, what wrestler or whatever got in trouble for selling it right away and just had to wait like 3 years or something. So it's like, it's not that, it's a computer part.
Yeah, it was the same people who did the vampire. So vampire, after that experience, is like, no way. I bought a side rider that has the ID and the 8 mega RAM, and I have to plug it. I have a big European power strip that plugs into my big transformer, and it just plugs in. It side rides on with it. If I want the extra RAM and hard drive, it side rides with 500. I just,
and it's kind of a shame because, you know, that vampire is actually a pretty,
Supposedly, yeah.
it's a pretty, you know, it gives you basically next gen performance. But after all, you know, you read
yeah,
about all that stuff, you're
all
like,
that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing I looked at. They had the previous thing was had the SD interface or compact flash, I don't remember. Had the 8 mega RAM and all that stuff built on it. So I'm like, hey, no additional thing. I can pop the thing out, RAM and hard drive right there.
Have y'all had any experience with Amiga on the Lake?
I have.
And are they good? Or
Oh yeah, I bought this from Amiga on the Lake. I bought this from Amiga on the Lake. I bought my X5000 from Amiga on the
Okay,
Lake.
because I figured, I didn't know anything about them. I ordered my stuff from that AmigaStore.eu in Spain. And they were kind of slow
Yeah, they were
to
kinda
get
slow.
it out. And I sent it, and they were, of course, the time zone stuff. They'd take forever to get back to me, and it was kind of broken English and stuff. And I'm like, you know, it's, you know, but I intentionally worded it real, you know, plain English so that they knew what I was talking about. But yeah, and so this is just really, really busy. And I'm like, it's installed. I mean, just throw it in a box or whatever. I can understand, you know.
It took 3 weeks when I ordered from them. So I
Put
just
it on
kind
the
of,
slow way.
Yeah, well, and it was like, and it's like, I didn't even care if it was on the slow boat, we get it on the boat to start going. And this was like, they waited a couple of weeks just to send it out. But they make new stuff, and so I guess or they support stuff, they're not like sending
I
money.
think the name of the German store I ordered the OS39 from, something.
Pagan partner.
I don't know. I don't remember. They were the only place I could find that made the OS39. And I used that up at 1200, they reload. So, so they were pretty quick. It like arrived in a week. I was really surprised. Something in Europe, and the shipping was free. It was real cheap. I was like, I get an envelope. The only thing about it is I had to go down to the post office and sign for it.
Oh, wow.
I'm not the country, so they just drop it in. They'll drop a little thing in the box and drive on. They don't want to have to open the gate and come up to the house.
Yeah.
Which I understand. So I just ran to Tennis or ran a talented little thing. They handed me one envelope and CD, and I was surprised it was weak. So,
Yeah, well, Media Kit used to be really good about sending stuff out really quick, but now I don't know what's going on. Yeah, now they just, they're.
The thing that always surprised me about that is that you log on to their website and they have the store in Great Britain and
Yeah, they have a
the
US store,
etc. But I log into the US store, but every time I've ordered anything from them, from the US store, it ships from Great Britain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know why they do that. Then maybe they do that just to legitimize something or whatever.
Why even bother to know English?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be like exchange rates. A lot of times there's, because I work for a company that has international presence, and we have stuff in Frankfurt for everything in Europe because of the legal requirements. And we have stuff in North Virginia for the United States.
Oh, yeah. So that's right. Nowadays, all the GDPR.
Yeah, and all this stuff. It could be something like that, and they just do a drop ship out of England or something. But there's a,
Well, if you browse the European version of the website, there's going to be less code for things tracked.
yeah.
I'm logged on right here.
Okay. I said, no, I just couldn't
Because I ordered something from, I think, Lehman Computing, and that thing came real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered it pretty late, then actually still managed to get it the day before the conference, and I was trying to take the thing to it.
There we go. That's
Perfect install.
Oh, you get it?
Yeah, I think so,
Okay.
yeah. I just keep trying to put it on my phone.
Okay.
They put my SSD back in my 1200. I have a 64 gig SSD. That's why I use OS39. So it'll take the big file system.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, mine's all kind of torn apart, so I'm trying to, because I ordered the original compact flash drive that goes in the 1200. I don't know, it doesn't boot, it doesn't do something. I think the drive itself is dead. Anyway, the Media Kit had the thing on there where it's like, hey, we'll send you the whole kit for like $30, which come with, everything on it, and it's like reinstalled with 3.9 or something like that. That and a floppy drive switcher and a few things. So I ordered a few things like that, and so it came in, but I just haven't had between that and all the other crap I've got.
The problem I run into when I work on the Amiga is it's going to be hours of work because it's what I was saying earlier. It's like I worked on 46 earlier this week, and that wasn't a big deal because I can put a compact flash in a PCMCA card, drop the files on, and we're done.
Yeah.
The Amiga, I get to load the emulator, mount the disk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing is I couldn't format the actual compact flash, even if I followed all the instructions and it would say creating the image on it or something, and it would whatever their version of FDisk is, it's just like it would not recognize it, and so
I broke down and got an SSD on the 1200 for that reason.
Yeah,
it worked. It's like there's a few bucks to find a ADA SSD, but I found a slightly used one. It's like yeah, if they burned some of the life off the thing, I don't use the Amiga that. It's like a daily driver.
Yeah.
And
This was 4 gig compact flash IDE hard disk drive, and it is. I guess it is.
How do you plug it right in there? Is it?
This goes under. Yeah, this goes. I think it's
And the little action
floppy. No, yeah, or you pull it up, and then it's got that that shield, RF shield on it, and then it just like connects
Mhm.
to, I want to say where the old IDE hard,
Is it a Discon module?
is it a what?
A Discon module? Have you seen those? It's weird. They look like, you remember the old Game Boy, the old like Game Boy Advanced cartridges? You know,
Yeah.
they were real squatty. Well, I've read about this new thing. It's called Discon. Google it. Discon module, and it looks like that. And basically, it's got all the electronics built into it. It's a 4 gig drive and all the electronics. You just basically take all your other stuff, toss it out, and just plug this thing directly into the slot on the motherboard.
Wow.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. It comes up in the German site here on Wikipedia.
And the discount module is something that you can buy for the Amiga too? Just
Yes.
that?
Okay, equivalent of a solid state drive. Oh,
And it
okay.
plugs into what slot?
The IDE slot.
It replaces it.
No, is there an ID slot in the 500?
No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so.
They've got some kind of slot on the side for like putting
Yeah, there's a
hard
side slot.
drives and stuff.
I think I got a memory expansion port on the bottom.
Yeah, the Amiga on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Amiga on the left side. So
Oh, okay.
that second
Oh,
down.
that was on one.
So then what about for a 500? Is there a modern day CF side module?
Well, the only one is there? I was gonna, the only one I've seen was the one with the people who do the vampire. That's not side module, but you see a
Wow, yeah.
Just
What I ended up
Right
doing with
into
my
it.
compact flash stuff is I got a side driver that did IDE.
See that?
And
That's
had
pretty
RAM
impressive.
Did that work on the 500?
Yeah, that worked beautifully.
Mhm.
I forget what I paid it, probably too much. I got it.
We all
I got
paid
it
too
with
much for this shit.
I was gonna say, well, I got it when the dollar was strong, the euro was weak, so it worked out okay. I've learned if you get the exchange rate good from ordering like this was it from Italy, the exchange rate was good, so I got it cheap.
Oh, good.
4 gig on disk.
It's original. It does SCSI and
Oh, wow.
IDE. I just like, the IDE is gonna be plenty fast with Flash.
Exactly.
And so I only do SCSI when I have to do SCSI. The one machine I have that
Right.
took the
Need one of
bite
those
out of
then?
the pocketbook was the PowerBook 900.
Plugs into.
That
I think
sucker
there'd be a 1200.
Yeah,
1200.
we're gonna have a guy recapped
This is
it.
a Macintosh?
Macintosh
Yeah.
PowerBook 100 is a
What age is this?
So how much is your hard drive?
So it was the one, the very first small, Sony made it for them.
Okay.
I replaced the hard drive with compact flash.
Mhm.
Used a special IBM ThinkPads and PowerBooks. Use this weird SCSI pinning.
Mhm.
There is the people that make the SCSI thing, but he was out. He was not making another run.
Oh,
There was
no.
a guy in Japan. It was $100.
Mhm.
So I think I had $450 wrapped into that machine before it was done.
You know, why aren't all these things just open source so that people can just make them as they see fit?
Yeah,
Just
well,
order them off of, I don't know, Oshpark.
probably could. The biggest thing with that was making the SCSI protocol convert to the ID protocol. That's
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was basically a SCSI
Mhm.
terminator with an IDE terminator. That's pretty. This is a compact flash's IDE.
Yeah.
That was the one I did. The machine was recapped.
Mhm.
Those the LCDs go out on it.
Yep.
And so this is all whatever. And
So it's using SCSI originally wanted the IDE in it.
basically, it's what that adapter does.
Mhm.
That's what those. Well, those are SD, so no.
Mhm.
Compact flash is basically
IDE.
IDE.
Mhm.
So basically, you got a little thing. It's the size of a 2.5-inch hard drive. So you
Mhm.
pop your IDE on it. It fits right in.
Mhm.
And then I ran into a software thing you have to go through, and you can't use
Gosh.
Apple's disk driver.
What?
You have to use they wrote right at Apple old Macs write disk driver the first part of the disk.
Mhm.
I ran across this third-party thing. I tried it. I replaced it.
Mhm.
So changed it out, booted up.
Yeah.
Awesome. I got PowerBook 100 8 gig of just drive. Which is funny because my 6-year-old loves to play Oregon Trail on it. He will not play it on color. The Oregon Trail, the mouse.
Mhm.
He's like he wants to play on the PowerBook.
I understand that. Yeah.
He wants the cadence.
To me, that's just like why I can play most of my Amiga games on an emulator
Yeah.
anytime. But it's just like, no, I want to play it on a 1084S, and
Yeah. Does anybody want to sell a Commodore monitor? Because I
Crickets,
I have
crickets.
one.
Now, but to be fair, I do have a Commodore, but I don't always want to use it. I had ordered, this guy was advertising on eBay, and he lives in McKinney. It was a box that was like an external flicker fixer scan doubler thing. And he said, look at this, it does all this, it corrects all these other, it doesn't use these kind of chips that has these problems and blah, 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 and how great it is. I got all this great feedback. I'm like, and it was like $100. I'm like, okay, I don't, that's fair because I don't have to pull a chip. I can use it wherever. I'll do it. And I get in and it's just got like wavy lines and all kinds of stuff. And he's like, well, hey, try it with a different LCD or different, flat panel or something like this. And there was nothing I could do to get it to work. And so finally, I mean, he was a nice guy about it, but it just turned out I had to be and that's not you, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
I live in Kaufman.
Yeah,
So.
no, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I talked to him about coming out to the meeting or something. But anyway, he's a real nice guy, but the problem was it's just like, this isn't a finished product. I can't use it. Yeah. And it's like problems. It's like, well, sometimes I had that happen with the 1200, and I'm like, well, lots of people have 1200. So, and then I was like, okay, let me do it for this, my Amiga 2000. And then same problem. So I ended up having to send it back, and it was just like, no,
No, is he hand building these things, or was it all machine put together?
So it was, I want to say this, he was not doing this, he was ordering the circuit boards, but he was getting it with certain chips, and I don't know if he was flashing firmware or what he was doing, but he had a 3D built, 3D printed boxes that he was going with it. And it was kind of a professional looking deal, and and now he's like, oh, you're using cheap VGA cables. And I'm like, these are very high dollar VGA cables. And it's like, I'll try and use some different ones just in case, but you could never get it to work or whatever. And so like this. And then the nail in the coffin was, I have an Amiga 2000 with an actual amber card Commodore flicker fixer in it. And it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's like with the same VGA cable, with the same everything. So I'm like, so you gotta watch out for what people complain and what you're gonna order.
I have I've not used it on the 128, but I have a thing that will do the CGA. It's the CGA to the VGA adapter. It'll double it. Then I had to get an adapter that does the RGBI to RGBS.
Yeah.
And so I did, which don't have any cases. I'm gonna probably get a Tupperware container or something. But basically, I've used on the Tandy. It has things you can dial on it, so I had to get the RGB levels balanced. But I was playing like Tandy, my Tandy 1000, and I tried to pull the Commodore 128 out. It shouldn't work the same way. That I literally take it, then I run it through a VGA to HDMI adapter. And so it's like this chain of things, but it kicks it out to a perfect 80 column CGA or whatever HDMI.
Does it still give you the scan lines or not?
No, it's crisp. So if you want the original, you do CRT. I've been looking for one just because there's occasionally that's useful, and my kids want once in a while play Duck Hunt, so I'm like I can get a CRT and get away with it with my wife.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, hey, it plays Duck Hunt. See, you play Duck Hunt on here. Yeah. It's really hard on TV. The LCD with the low latency is hit and miss. I don't know if I just suck at Duck Hunt. Maybe that's it. No, but it will actually capture it sometimes because it requires like 16 milliseconds between pulling the trigger and that white flash. And usually, most LCDs are 40 or 50. But I have my main TV is like 14, so it has a real high scan.
Yeah, that's good.
I have a milliseconds. I think is 60 hertz, and so most of the LCD should be running faster than that.
Yeah, but what it is the LCDs do post-processing on the frame, where a CRT is done. It's taking a signal and it's rendering it.
Yeah. So it's like the actual rendering time is the same, but the whole thing is delayed before it starts. Right.
Yeah.
So because I picked it up for $20, but I picked up a widescreen Sony Wega CRT with one HDMI slot in the back, and it's a 30-inch, but it's the same thing. It's kind of like I wanted it because I didn't want the delay with playing, because I was trying to play. I put my LCD in game mode.
Light guns.
I put my LCD in game mode, so it would you know how quick Super Mario Brothers is. When you're sitting there trying to jump, you just fall down because it doesn't respond fast enough. You have to be exact on that. And that's why I got this, but it turns out that it works so, it works perfect for that sort of thing, but you have to go in, and they even have like post-processing on that one that you have to go in and kind of turn off for even that. So it's not the favorite of all the, console guys or whatever. But for me, it's like it gets the scan lines and it gets the fast speed and it takes HDMI.
A TCL, a $400 TCL does the game mode. It's one of the fastest, lowest lag TVs, LCDs. I wish I hadn't bought it. Errant TV blew the Sony up, so Errant Toy blew the Sony up.
Oh, that's not fun.
No, it's not fun. It's like throw stuff outside.
This one I had to have a buddy borrow his hatchback. He had a Ford Focus hatchback. We had to go pick that up, and it's like 200 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like carried, and it's bulky and it's hard to carry. And so we put it back in this little Focus, and so I'm like I'm 240 pounds, and my buddy's 200 pounds, and then we had this TV in the back, so that little Focus is going down the road, and I paid $20 for it or whatever, and but it worked out.
But I've been trying to get my hands on like Commodore, one does the RGB and the composite or whatever. I asked him the last time the DFW computing, electric computing, which is where David is, and I can buy them online, but the shipping will break you. You hope to get. Well, you did a whole monitor repair thing not that long ago. Where you got the thing and board to do all kinds of stuff.
Did you go over to Raymond's, or was it just yourself?
What's that?
For your board or for your monitor repair, was it going over to Raymond's or yourself, or how did you do that?
I had a friend come over. I filmed it at my place.
Cool.
Justin Scott.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got a 1080. I think that somebody I have to look at because it used to do at least a black and white signal. Now it doesn't even give me any signal at all.
This one was working fine, but it was actually a Tandy, MCCC June Meeting, and it did shit to me, and I guess the PCB was broken around the flyback because they probably threw the box around or whatever.
Yeah. That's my other fear. Even if you pay the fortune on shipping, isn't that going to happen?
And this one was packed pretty well. I know a lot of packing material around this, but
I feel like sometimes the more packing material, the worse off it is.
Yeah, I had Tandy 1000 I was telling him about. Tandy 1000 EX came this thing was suspended in peanuts.
Oh yeah.
And the whole side of it was just cracked and everything. So I sent a picture of a guy, he went screaming at FedEx over it. And they gave him they wrote him a check bigger than what I paid for it. Sure. And he's like, here's all your money back, dude. I'm like, oh, okay, I've already got some look over.
Hey, that's the kind of seller that you like, though.
Yeah, I was like, you got a positive feedback on that.
Yeah. Well, my deal is I'm a what you call it?
me too.
Craigslist, you find all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's good to see next month at the DFW being outside, I'm sure to see you around. So.
So, what's your name?
David.
David? Okay, David Murray. And I'm
The 8-bit guy.
Yeah,
On
YouTube's
YouTube.
the 8-bit guy.
He's the 8-bit.
Oh, okay, cool.
And David, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So next month for Let's Play Gaming Expo, on my spreadsheet, you've written down a bunch of things you might
I
be
didn't realize that
interested
was your spreadsheet.
in. Okay. Yeah, so you're still interested in bringing stuff, right?
Well, sure. What day is that again?
I think 27, 28, 29, or something along those lines.
Of July?
Yeah.
That's
I filled your name in on there.
I need to go check my calendar because I'm going to be in Europe in July, and I don't know when I'll be back by then.
Uh-oh.
Let me check.
Is that late July?
Yeah, Let's Play Gaming Expo is late.
Okay, because I know I'm on the DFW record been talking about.
27 to 29. So yeah, I'm looking for folks.
Okay, I get back on the 24th. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, hopefully I'm not pushing.
Yeah, so I can bring whatever.
Hey,
you
see,
bring. That's why I've kind of left it open on there. I've got so much stuff. I never know what people want.
And I have.
Do you have a list of stuff on your website or on a Facebook page or something?
No, but if you name it, I've probably got it. So.
Okay. I'll think of some things.
Well, what I lack on the Amiga area, admittedly. But
That's okay.
Apple, Commodore, Atari, Tandy,
Mm.
any of those, I've got it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I was thinking, some STs might be fun.
I have an
Some
ST.
I've got one Atari ST, and I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about STs at all.
And I don't have any games for it.
So I was thinking about having one in particular. It's called MIDI Maze. Apparently, it's a bunch of network STs you can put together and over a MIDI port, and you can just run around in this maze and try to shoot each other or shoot content.
I know the last DFW retro meeting when you brought up Atari Stacy.
Yeah, that was my wife, Stacy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was out in Washington D.C. at the time.
Oh, okay. That's
I
why
got a
I
Commodore
remember.
Max I can bring now, but it
Yeah.
actually doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It boots up, but it's garbled. I need to fix it.
And then on the 8-Bit Keys channel, you did a review on the Miracle Piano teaching system.
Yeah.
Have you ever got a chance to play the real software? So I've got the real software on Tandy 1000 and on Amiga. So if you want to do that at some point.
Well, the real challenge is I have to build a cable to make it work.
I actually have the cables.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so kept just using jumper wires for the Amiga, but for the Tandy, I've got the real legitimate cable.
So let's see here. The 8-bit guy, you said you are?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Nice subscribers. So I will add that. Sorry, I'm more, I don't know, 16-bit guy that I dealt with, but I don't know much about, other than Nintendo and stuff like that. So I was right after the Commodore 64. My friends had Commodore 64. I couldn't afford that.
Well, he's got a homebrew game for the C64.
So
Yeah, Planet X2.
awesome. I used to play mail order monsters on the Commodore 64. That was a shit ton of fun.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I gotta take off. I was informed by, I can't remember his name, that this was from 1:30 to 2:30.
Oh, no.
And we got here at 1:30.
Yeah.
It's like nobody here.
Dang.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, appreciate you coming
That's
out.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. USC. Love that sound.
Yeah, the bass sound.
Sounds pretty close. At least, I don't know. I had 1571.
You can tell just because it's louder.
Yeah. Well, the volume.
I just remember the Commodore 64. The disk drive was more expensive than the computer itself.
Yeah, I think it still is now. It's on eBay. There was a 1571 on letgo.com for $10 for such a long time. It's like, do I really need a 1571?
I have a 1571.
Yeah.
Usually, those are things that you Craigslist, man. You find stuff on Craigslist and sometimes next door, but you can spend so much time just
Oh, yeah.
through. That's why I set up filters to tell it to email me and stuff, but I get emails about Amiga scooters, email about Amiga hot tubs. Yeah.
Commodore boats, yeah. Yeah, sorry, I keep the fast loader out to play Sam's Journey because the fast loader interferes with other you.
So,
So, you gotta wait that's David Murray's game there, So,
Sorry, I didn't mean to feel underwhelmed. I mean, I didn't, whatever. I just don't know. A lot of, I'm not up to date on a lot of stuff. I have a hard enough time trying to keep up with all the old classic Amiga stuff.
the discussion I had with him yesterday was, he said, I live a double life. You look at I took those pics.
oh, yeah.
Well, apparently none of them had the picture the guy took had the two prong.
Yep.
And none of the ones he got did.
Oh, geez.
So I just went, I live on coffee. So I ran over. So I
Talk about across town. Boom.
What's funny is I grew up in middle of Indiana. I'd drive an hour to go anywhere I wanted anyway. So it's like, I keep going. I had basically went, I had to go to Fry's. So I went to Fry's there instead of one in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes.
Mhm.
But basically, he was telling me, your lunch is it's great. I'm walking like Arby's here. Nobody knows me. He said, I go out to the Portland Gaming Fest, and there are people like, I'm signing autographs for 4+ hours.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I'll be honest with you. It's
David,
not
right?
that,
David, yeah.
maybe it's an age thing, because if I see somebody famous or internet famous, I'm just like, oh, that's neat. Hey, I like to sometimes talk to them or whatever, but I never ask for their autograph. I guess maybe, I don't know, it's just kind of like, maybe it's just.
Well, they had him autographing there. That was the thing. He was a keynote speaker.
Sure. Oh, cool.
He was a keynote speaker on it.
And
And
Portland was always the same time as Houston Arcade Expo. But one's obviously a lot easier for me to get to.
Yeah.
it was funny, but at the DFW Retro community thing, there was a guy, and I brought my son, and keep him tipped down. That was the reason I got him to go. Because I couldn't get him to a VCF Midwest when we were in Indiana, up in Chicago. And I was like, well, the guys there. He's like, okay, I want to go. And I'm like, do not call him that.
Do you not call it?
Yeah, call him Mr. Murray unless he tells you.
Yeah.
And David walks in behind us and he's like, shut up, and he was cool about
I
it.
guess the deal is just so many channels out there.
Yeah.
That it's just like, it's hard to keep up with them. And that's a lot of subscribers, but at the same time, it's kind of like in the YouTube world, it doesn't, I don't know. I subscribe to a lot of people that have that numbers, and I could never do that. That's an accomplishment. I guess it's just kind of like, I don't know what to say.
All my like millennial engineers and even some that are older, you know, than me, all the engineers I worked with, like, oh yeah, I know that guy. You what? You know, they know who he is. I talked to my dad or my in-laws. Oh, that's some guy, you know, lives there, you know, other side of the metro. You know, you talk to on the internet. Who cares? You know, but I posted pictures. I went ahead. There was a guy in front of me that went up to us. I'm your biggest fan. I put it. It's like, and I said, you know, I wasn't going to ask, but you know, can I get a picture with you? So buddy took a picture, and it was cool. But you know, it was the guy in front of me. It's like, really? Okay, you know, he was like all fangirling out or whatever.
No, that's funny because you know I kind of felt that way at one time because before it was big on YouTube, I used to watch the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Oh yeah, he's the one.
I used to watch him a lot of time and so like that. I just thought you know that it was kind of fun to talk to him or whatever he was speaking somewhere. Whatever I just wanted to maybe hear what he'd say, but you know I guess I never thought about you know what I would say if.
Yeah, and Let's Play, Mike Matei, which is also on the channel with him. He does a lot of the stuff with him. Like you're seeing the Bugs Bunny one, he's Bugs Bunny. He'll be at Let's Play.
Cool.
I think it's Let's Play. Or
Yeah.
Or is it Retro Palooza?
Well, one's in October, one's in.
I can't remember. He's at one of the other. I don't remember when he's out.
You know, Retropalooza tends to focus a little more on the YouTube stars, I think.
Yeah, I think it might be Retro Palooza.
You know, some of the grotesque ones, usually like the game chasers that love to bark into the microphone.
Oh, they do that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen things like that show and stuff like that. And I was just like, I didn't really understand the appeal. I mean, but you know, a lot of people eat that stuff up, and so that's why I've kind of unsubscribed from a lot of. Like, there was like a Texas retro game play, you know, something like that. They just turned out they were just. I mean, it was real. Juvenile to the point of, you know, where they spend most of their times getting in fights over what somebody was selling something for. I'm like, you don't know how this country works. People can sell whatever they want for however much they want. It's like they're not, you know. So that's how, you know, supply and demand.
Don't sell to the rest of us for that.
Yeah.
So well, and I don't know, just kind of like, well, let's be revisiting this again. So I just kind of
I've paired a lot of them, like Cinemassacre, which is Angry Video Game.
Right.
So I said to David, I said, at least, you know, with your channel, I don't have to, you know, I can kick, because my daughter loves it, and she just, I think she likes the box opening and stuff, but, you know, my kids can watch it, I don't worry about. I have to have headphones on watching Angry Video Game Nerd.
Right.
He goes on a rant. The last thing I want is my 6-year-old brain. I'm out somewhere repeating Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah, he swears.
Yeah, see, my daughter's almost 19, so I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, my 12-year-old watches it, and he's fine. He knows appropriate, not appropriate.
This guy does all kinds of stuff, though. I guess you know. Instead of this is cool.
Yeah, yeah, he's doing a Planet X3 on MS DOS right now. I saw the prototype of it yesterday.
Yeah, I think you know between David Murray and Lazy Game Review guy.
Yeah, that's mostly LGR. Yeah, LGR. Only one problem I had to watch is his 5170 where he really likes his Model M. My daughter, who loved the video, she loves the box. She's autistic. She loves the box opening and stuff.
Yes.
I got a copy of OS2, and she imitated that scene. That's not something you want to hear out of your 7-year-old daughter. It's like, no. She was fine. It was like, we're not watching that one anymore in front of you. Or skipping that section, whatever.
Yeah.
I quit watching the Angry Video Game Nerd, though, whenever it's like started doing all the skits nonstop. It's more funny just like we're watching play the old games. And then,
he's rotated back to that.
A little bit.
He does that like once a month on AG.
I thought it was just out of all games to review. GPU.
Yeah, maybe that's why I thought there's a lot of them. Yeah, I ain't even heard of
He
it.
has to find crappy ones though.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of them. I don't know. That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. Well, I actually got, he influenced my purchasing. I got
Oh, yeah.
Super Back to the Future 2 on Super Famicom. Because I'm not a bad game. He's right. It's not a bad game. It's a lot better than any of the American ones. The American ones.
Yeah, those are terrible.
That's what they talk about, like E.T. E.T.'s supposedly not even really a bad game, even though it gets blamed for the.
I never really played it.
Yeah.
My aunt had it.
I couldn't play because I didn't read the manual and I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, you
and I was a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, my aunt had it. I like played it. It's like I moved the joystick and then fall into a pit. It's like.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Apparently, there's a way to just jump back out.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
quickly.
like
It's
It's
like,
like clever
yeah.
timing.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if it was the worst game I've ever played.
No.
Bazooka Bill is probably the Commodore 64 is probably the worst game I've ever played.
So many.
A lot of things on the VIC-20, I would say.
I
Worst
just got a St. Vic 20, so my wife got me for my birthday, and I've only played a handful of things on it. So
I went to the Houston Arcade Expo 2 years ago, and there was supposedly some kind of Walker, Texas Ranger game on there. And when you would use the joystick, literally the game screen would crawl up off the screen until you couldn't see the game anymore on the screen. It would be a blue screen. And then you move the joystick the other way and go down and stop about halfway. It's like, who QA'd this at all? What is this?
Well, that was the whole problem with the Amiga back in the day also, was they still wanted like $40, $50 for a game. But then there was just like zero QA for it half the time. If you're lucky enough to get a guru number, you would just get stuff where, I mean, it was just a crap game and you spent a lot of money for it. And,
Right.
you know, that made you feel like you justified pirating it.
well, that's the problem I ran into because I think I had one legitimate Amiga game. It was up in Marion, Indiana, so you couldn't just go buy it.
That's, I was in Coleman, Texas.
Yeah, you couldn't just go buy them. And so I played, by the time, because Dad had me for a couple of years, I had a 128D. And so when finally the Amiga, he got a 486, CD-ROM and all this. And so I got the Amiga, and so I would try to find whatever games we had for the PC that we could run on the 365 recorder, that run on the XT Bridgeboard. I was mostly gaming on XT Bridgeboard and CGA because I played I played like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, could not beat it. I played the F1, F-18, whatever, the really cool opening sound effect.
Oh, yeah.
I beat it.
Oh, wow.
And so I had beaten it, I played it all. And so by the time the Amiga it was flaking a little bit, Dad's like, okay, he got me a 386. And so now coming back to it later, now I have WHD load and I can load it all on a compact. It's great. I love it.
I've never used that before, but but
I just grabbed the whole there's a zip file 80 through Z.
And you just drop it in your
drop it on the compact flash, yeah.
But is it like installed Workbench and all that, or is it just like its own OS? Or
no, it's just running on a Workbench. What it does is you have to have the
it sets the memory
you have to have
stuff, right?
Right. You have to have legitimate Kickstarters. Well, you have to have legitimate Kickstarters images. And so you get the legitimate, I have the Amiga Forever, put those in, and it will inject the Kickstarter you need and the memory and everything, and it just launches the app.
So it's kind of like something you drop in ROM slot and just loads whichever image you want for your Kickstarter.
Yeah, you just have the WHD load, so it just creates. I just downloaded the prefab games already, but you just double click the thing and it launches it, and the Amiga Forever stuff will integrate WHD load.
Okay, because I've got a version of Amiga Forever that I got on some kind of some kind of Christmas sale or something. But the whole reason why I built my Amiga 2000 the way I did, with all kinds of like ROM switches and external floppy switches, or so I could maximize compatibility with it, because so much stuff will not run with it. And my little floppy emulator that I have, I don't want that mounted inside, my Amiga. I want to be able to take that and do whatever I want with it. So, but you can't boot off of it on the external. It won't boot unless you use like a newer version of Kickstart. But then, older versions, but newer versions of Kickstart break the games.
Right.
So I had to,
WHD load fixes that.
Yeah. Okay. Because I had to order. Originally, I had a German guy build a switch because I had these schematics. Now the Amiga places will sell one, but I had to build one, and then I screwed it up. I broke it trying to pull it, do something.
I also have
with it.
Reload Kick 1.3, which is good. I think Amiga Kit sells it, which is basically, as long as you have enough RAM, you can't have like a 1 meg. I think you have to have a couple megabytes RAM. But basically, Reload Kick, you pop that in, you launch it, and it will basically do it like shadow RAM. I have 3.1, it'll override and basically throw Kickstart 3.1 up in RAM. And so now you're operating Kickstart 3.1. That's pretty much what the WHD load does in mass.
Okay.
It swaps all that stuff out. And so I've used it on a handful of like Aladdin on the AGA chipset. It took care of all that. Because I'm all about, I mean, I'm retro, but I'm also all about the convenience. There's only so many hours a day. And so a lot of times what I do is I will use my modern Mac, whether it be PC or whatever, Amiga, and I will utilize that sucker emulator running at full speed, dumping all that stuff onto the disk, get everything prepped, and then just shove it in the Amiga and play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. To me, it's just all about, can I play it in the same environment with the same look and same sound as before?
Yeah.
That's why I don't like remakes. That's why I don't like, you know, emulators on VGA. And they can do a pretty good job now, I think, with the scan line filters and things like that.
That's the only thing. CRTs, again, I got headaches in my early 20s badly. And so I do want one, but that's the one part of the retro stuff I'm okay. I like the ratio of 4 to 3, but I'm okay with, hey, it's on a 50-inch TV.
And it will take up a ton of space, because now you have one for every single computer you have.
Yeah, that's why I wanted like a Commodore, like the 1080, whatever the, I can't remember. 1084, where you had both RGB, the 15 kilohertz RGB, and the composite that would cover everything I want.
I think got speakers, this S model, or I think the 84, the 1084 has speakers in it also.
1084, you had the single one, and they had the stereo, the 1084.
Yeah, I think the stereo, but I didn't even know if the 1084 had speakers at all.
And the 1080 had speakers.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been just kind of hunting for that. There was a person had a 19 something on the DFW retro computing, but I asked if they still had any of those, and they just never responded.
What is it? DFW retro computing?
Yeah, just go to Facebook page. Yeah,
whatever.
Yep. Yeah, that's we have about 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, Dave tries to run a meetup about every 3 months.
I think I get a meetup thing every once in a while.
So is the next meetup at Let's Play, or are we doing? Is it separate from Let's Play?
I think it's separate.
Okay.
I mean, y'all are welcome to join me at Let's Play.
Well, I plan to go Let's Play.
Cool. And if you want to bring something, you can probably get you a free weekend pass for it too.
I'd be fine with that. I don't know what you want me to bring. I have Macintoshes. I have the little portables through the arrows. I've got an Apple IIc. The Amiga 1200. I need to see what this SSD. It's a little on the yellowed side, but you know what's interesting? It's not sunlight. The yellows those is moisture. I had mine in dark in a travel trailer, which is like a pop can in winter in Indiana.
Yeah.
And it turned, they started yellowing again, and it turned this white as snow foam I had between them so they wouldn't bust the keys on transport to yellow.
Wow.
I have because they were there was no UV under that, that storage compartment. But there was condensate. In fact, what I found is I bought a big thing of those silica gel packets you buy for food. I just tossed them in there, and that solved that problem. Food grade.
Cool, you better root.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
I got the notification.
Is it your group or something, or?
I guess I'm an admin on it.
Are you an admin on it? Yeah, it's not a whole lot goes on. I respond. That's how I end up here today.
Yeah.
Funny, because I responded to Dave Murray's Big 20 request. I private messaged him with a picture of it. He's like, "Yeah, I could really use that." He hadn't got the boards yet. He went so he's like, "Well, I'm going to get the boards in." I said, "Well, I'll come over, 12:30 or whatever."
Yeah.
So I get toured the whole place. I met him in March, but
he's been coming to the last few of them, I think.
Yeah. So I didn't know.
One time he brought he brought a Commodore PET.
Did he? Last time he brought the 64 Mini. See, I want to see the OLP. I want to see the OPL 2. Yeah, I got the Cofox.
Yeah.
I got it working in Windows, like a Sound Blaster. There's a DOS Sound Blaster. Won't work with Doom, but works with Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the drivers.
Yeah, well, what happens is Doom goes into full protected mode, and what it does is it basically goes into DX86 mode, and so Doom crashes it.
Oh, geez.
But indie games are still real time, which is most DOS games cheat in the late era.
Yes.
Like Wolfenstein, there's no delay to it. I'm like, this is a Kovacs. It's I'm shooting and these, and it sounds like a gunfight. It
Sounds good, huh?
sounds good.
Mhm.
I've had it for a couple of months.
Mhm.
I have a 46. I have a Pentium that has a sound blaster, but I have a 46. I want to play older, slower stuff.
Mhm.
And so I put this thing on, and I was sitting down and working on it. I forgot I don't have an amplified speaker set anywhere.
Mhm.
So that's what I picked up a set of those $10 speakers. I was like astounded. I was playing Wind Trek and all the captured voices and stuff worked.
Yeah.
Windows 95 plug and play that thing.
That's pretty impressive. I wouldn't realize that it's able to not do that.
Yeah.
Guys always have
Good video.
So this is must be
I'm
quite
worried about
specific
getting started.
manufacturers
No, we're
for
looking
drivers
for
for it then, huh?
Yeah.
To make it
Well-
look like a.
I'm kind of worried about getting
Sound blaster.
started with something. that's-
Well, what happens is the guy that wrote the Tandy emulator for it wrote a virtual sound blaster.
That makes sense.
And the
Definitely
Kovacs,
Being able to ramp
Sending
it up.
signals out
there's one.
the UART part, basically.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's
You
just.
guys know more about the operating system stuff than I know, because I don't,
This is black
I was always just put a floppy
Mhm.
disk in it and go kind of guy. But some of the other hurdles that I've had to run into,
Wow.
I have to get
Find somebody
frustrated.
to shoot.
That's good.
You
But
see Acer makes a lot of those 6 coming to do this.
that's the Kovacs.
Are you telling me they do, or are you asking me?
Haven't you?
I mean,
No,
that's-
Yeah.
But this was the one that really impressed me. This is in Windows, just straight, the original Kovacs
They all
drivers.
swing them. They all come in, they plug it to
Oh,
a
dang.
speaker and work just fine.
Kidding?
Wind Trek, huh?
Really?
Yeah, something I used to put
The
back.
guy
in the
has a
day.
blog on it, he just stuff, and he was telling all about it, and then
Really?
it's showing you hook up to a 1200.
That's a Kovacs.
Well, that sounds a lot better than PCM audio.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was what surprised me. And that's the original 90s, 1990s drivers. I mean, this is the Duke Kovacs re-implementation.
Yeah.
I plugged the thing in after I installed the drivers and
Mhm.
rebooted, Windows, just like found Kovacs, installed drivers.
This.
And then,
Yeah,
the Windows 95 startup sound kicked us like,
Really?
Oh, yeah, I think
Whoa.
I've seen
It was
this.
like-
a lot of fun.
yeah, this is a 4633.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing fancy.
Mhm.
Reason why I wanted the
A whole
386
bunch of stuff
was
there.
funny is the last time we went,
So, RGB.
he brought Rob
VGA
Ivy's, like, he had
So
laptops.
what would that be? Would that?
And
be-
so I
There's
never
a
meant,
giveaway section.
yeah, the giveaway
going on
section.
last time.
Well, he gave,
Would that just
and
be
so there was
the
a
Amiga
guy from Red
video
Hat, it was a guest, who was-
cable
and
to?
I
a
wanted
VGA, or
like two
how
of those,
would that-
286 and 46.
Yeah.
He's had one.
And so I turned my back and he's like walking out with
Oh,
46,
no.
like, which is fine. Hey, it's person to preserve. It was just like, that was the one he like restarted the 46 onto it,
Jeez.
I was like, okay.
And not just like a PLC kind of socket point.
So I guess.
It must be. He just said you like literally replaced the like unsoldered 386 and put a 46
You
PLC.
would plug in.
That's wild.
I was like, that's way hardcore for me to ever do something like that on a laptop.
Use like the.
I ended up buying a Toshiba on eBay for, it's one of those I just picked off, nobody cared about. I think I paid $30 for shipping. It wasn't a big deal. But I wanted
kind
sound.
of like what this guy
Like
was.
I said,
Yeah,
the 46 is
getting
nice.
broad, you show it.
Pentium has the dual
Oh, okay.
pipes.
Mhm.
And I can, certain games I just cannot slow down. They're too slow to run on the tank.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And so in the 46, hey, we have the single
Yeah, that was the
processor
kind
with
of
the cache.
question I had.
Flip all the caches off and support a 536. And it's just the right speed, like an Indiana Jones.
It's a genuine one.
Mm.
There's some
And
people-
so that's what I'm after. Now, I don't, I have a
Oh,
dock
okay,
inside.
yeah, yeah.
Which we
There's
found,
the-
like, some guy here on eBay
Mhm.
locally here
You
for
got
like
that
$10.
early one.
And so just
Yeah,
a
they were
docking
4,000.
station has the,
I got
PS2,
a Chrome one.
VGA, and the whole nine. So
I
you
gave
try to
it
play
the
on something like that,
Mhm.
where it's nice full color. But I was just like, I was telling him about the Kovacs, he's like, get the text.
And so can you run?
So I just
can
took a
you
video to show
Run
it.
it in,
It's impressive.
like
I guess
clear
like
lace
being a
mode
laptop
and all
guy,
that? Or
you got good experience on gaming for laptops.
Well, I got the idea from him because I was in travel trailer for a while, and so I can't just stack towers up weight.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you can get these little 11 and 13 inch
Okay,
laptops,
yeah.
put them in a neoprene, the zip cases, and I think
This is
stack them on a shelf.
somebody.
So are you Nate?
I'm
Yeah,
Nate.
that's
Okay.
one of some
I'm
of
Nate.
the-
That's
Yeah,
good.
they took
I'm
it.
good news. Okay, I didn't
Yeah, I got
check
one
the
too,
channel.
4,000.
Probably,
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I didn't remember you at the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so your wife brought the station. That was like
Yeah,
so
that's
cool. I've seen those, you know, I've never seen them in person. But,
Yeah, she told me that.
Well, I didn't know if they had.
I got it over.
oh, yeah.
That would be a lot better than,
So my son came.
That would be a
almost
lot
came
better
with me
than
too.
having to.
That was the joke. I said, I convinced him to come because they think I was going to be. It's a generation thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm self-employed, I'll help him out, you know.
Sure.
You know, I was self-employed for half my career. And so it's that kind of thing. Well, my son's like, that's a YouTube dude, you know, it's different.
Yeah, somebody from the screen is always.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. There's a fellow from work that's really excited to meet him too.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday because I was just kind of asking him about the Kickstarter and stuff. And,
He's not.
but he enjoys it. And I said, you know, you go to the right crowd and you got people lined up for autographs. And
So there's
there was like one guy at the thing who was like all like a fangirl about it. It was like, my wife's like, that wasn't me, was it?
That's
Like,
right.
no,
But
it
see,
wasn't me.
I'm kind of
I
going.
had to keep my son in check a couple times.
Does
But
everything.
he
So that's what this
like
guy
hacks
is.
into games.
Like on my.
So he's been
You mean
like
David does
my
it?
son.
Oh, your
Yeah, my
son.
son older. So there was a guy doing Python compiler for 502.
Yes.
My kid loved that.
You talked to Bill about, Bill Gee.
I'm gonna say.
I think he would. I think.
Kind of
This is a different.
long white hair.
Yeah, he was a member of Makerspace. Yeah, he took us around and toured the whole Makerspace.
Yeah, Bill's been working at that.
No, this is somebody
Oh, he
else.
was showing us some of the stuff that was really cool. And so Levi loved that because he's more into the Nintendo than the Commodore stuff.
Yeah.
But
This is a
it was that's the thing I was talking to David about was maybe get the source for Planet X1.
Oh, yeah.
And so because it's simple enough, like here's some 6502. It's not a finished game, you know.
What I'd like to know if this.
You know, you get
what's this
X2.
Nintendo?
X2 is like using what I think all but 12 bytes of the 64K. That's going to be a lot more complicated than
It kind of
X1.
reminds me of what I.
And so I was chatting with him about
with,
that yesterday. It was like, hey, you know,
From this other.
Yeah, that'd be a seriously large Nintendo.
But it doesn't
cartridge,
say
so
what kind of
those
chips he
go
uses
for-
or anything like
What's
that.
the usual size of a Nintendo cartridge? You remember?
2 megabit.
Oh yeah, okay, so it's still pretty high.
They're pretty high. Yeah, he's obviously hacking on it. There's a project out there like a Kickstarter that actually
100%
like
feedback.
non-programming make your own Nintendo game loaded onto a cartridge.
Yeah.
It's in Retron,
Mm.
but
It would make sense.
you know, I haven't signed on that. It's like $90. It's like when you get $80 use out of it, Levi, you know. But I got a book on 6502,
Haven't sold anything.
6 assembly language.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
As described,
So
Yeah, I'd rather go that
Good.
approach too. I mean, I did some Atari
this
development.
guy
Yeah.
brought one.
Screwed around with some,
Works
sprites
as
and things.
advertised.
And then ran a little Hello World example for the
Yeah.
NES stuff.
Lower the
Yeah,
price.
you know, because he does everything in emulators. I mean, he has a Windows
Yeah.
machine, a Linux box, you know.
Yeah, you only go
That's
on to
pretty
real
good.
hardware when it's about time to release it.
Right.
That's good to see.
Yeah, that's exactly. So that's what
I
I.
think the other guy must have taken his
So
off.
so I brought my
So much
son with it last
negativity.
week. He loved that. He
People
was
like
like,
me, well,
there was
it's
someone was
negative,
playing,
but
had a
it didn't
Spark
work.
Station was playing Doom on it,
Mm.
and there's all kind, you know, different stuff. I brought.
But yeah,
I was
still,
just-
either way,
that's
you
the
need-
American
you need
way. This is
something
the
that's
German
gonna
I have a PAL.
something that's already
But
gonna
I
be
have
working.
to
Maybe
do
you already
that.
have because I've got multiple
HDMI
races
converter out there,
and
use the PAL signals. And I'm like, dude, again, cheap little $400 TCL TV that does gaming really well.
Hmm.
Takes a PAL signal,
Cool.
analog PAL signal.
which the
I'm
guy
like,
from
oh, that is awesome.
Arkansas
It's like-
or wherever,
It's like
after I found
4.9
that,
stars on
great
Amazon,
stuff.
like
I'm not-
thousands of
I don't
sales.
know.
I'm like,
I've-
it's only
I got
$3.99.
in
I got
after
it. It's like
you
it's one of the
1,000.
places. I bought TV over this time too.
I
learned my lesson.
Right.
I get the phone call, I come home with TV's like this big black spot in the middle of it. I'm like,
I don't really.
I didn't buy that TV that long ago. How did this happen?
The
Your son?
kickstart and it comes with
Like, you don't want a college fund. do you? He's like full of energy.
So what is good feedback?
Well, he threw something
Yeah.
and it bounced.
It's kind of like
It bounced.
you know. So I kind of wanted. I forgot to.
So it's
email
like,
the
we
guy
have an
back,
acre, go out.
but I thought
It was just-
you know,
It was one of those
selling
things that just
online,
ricocheted
or actually
and
find
hit
a
it.
service that will sell.
So I have my TV, I have
online.
My living room is like,
Yeah.
well, it looks like
It's
a
like
cabin.
they're good condition or something,
It's
but
a
nothing worth
3-bedroom house
driving
out
8 hours to get
in the
there.
country.
Yeah.
But the living room's one I like to find my grandmother's.
Which makes it kind of
It's like-
strange.
it looks like
I
a
thought,
cabin.
you know,
It's all wood, you don't have to get the rafters and stuff. Everything else is ready to see.
Where
Yeah.
But, so in the corner, TVs mount, I don't have those mounts, and, it just happened,
Yeah.
wrong place, wrong time, sort of thing. That's just one of those, I was gone at the time, I was.
Yeah, and that's this guy that in the email, he had like 2 of them.
What happened? But in fairness, replacement TVs,
Yeah.
like surprisingly.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like.
I was expecting,
like
like,
so many computers, so much stuff, and, you know, like.
You know, you don't expect
trying to
399
downsize a little bit.
really good gaming, low latency gaming,
And
and nor do I expect, it has a Roku built in.
Yeah.
And, but I don't expect it to
I
do,
didn't know that.
PAL, yeah, I don't expect to be able to plug a Commodore.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Hey, it's,
Of course, I know I didn't really use it, that's why I wasn't.
Right.
that's composite, I have an S video too.
Yeah, you know what, you had to use that RF adapter.
Yeah, it's video is nice.
I think it does.
I have an adapter because generally, well, it depends on the
Like I said, I
TV.
never used
Some
it.
TVs will take it 4x3 and some will take it 16
But
by
I always
9.
had.
But it does pretty well with gas video on it.
Yeah.
So here I just want to use the analog
Yeah, well, I never tried, just whenever, I know
But
they
I have
sell them
this,
with those
if I want
RF
to tap it
later
through the
on.
HDMI
But whenever I
converter,
bought,
it
because I had to work all
small.
summer mowing lawns and
Yes,
stuff to
videos.
save up for mine.
It's one of those
Even
things,
after
it's
that, I
like,
had my niece
at
sitting
what,
in my
it's
house.
8-bit, what point does it matter a
Since
whole
I was
lot?
a teenager, I was
Yeah.
going nuts, you know.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
not looking
My
like
parents
it.
found
Yeah,
out
it's,
bill for
I mean, that's the thing about like
$300
Sam's
for
Journey.
the
I would
laundry.
think it's like, second, have you seen that?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Well, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
the place that I ordered it
Mhm.
from, it took another 3 weeks, and they said they hadn't started, they hadn't even shipped it yet. And
Yeah,
so
that's-
I was like, I
This is a brand
new
new
Wild
one.
West, you still order and stuff, you know, you open it.
This one has to have
okay, you don't know, and then you got an advertisement.
Play straight on out.
All the
Because
800
it's that tightly timed.
you know, and so they said we killed it on the credit card, said, you know, we're not gonna pay this, and, you know, they called up and said, we're ready to ship.
Yeah, that's all
I'm
like
like,
2 bucks.
we're
That's
already
great, that
ordering
has
it
the
somewhere
cartridge
else.
built in it.
And they, the other place shipped it to me
I know,
right
right,
away.
just have to use the SEU. That's
It must have been hard to
REU.
do or something.
Yeah.
It's already
I think it's
just
just
built in it.
some of those places maybe
16
weren't doing that well because, you know,
But,
Amigas.
Because
I wanted to
Sam's
see
Journey,
one
like,
so
the MX
bad.
loaded with right REU.
I kept looking.
You can get all kinds of corruption.
Yeah.
Some of these things are expecting faster
Right.
And I looked there and.
And it was in the timing, when it's using the REU,
We go.
the 1/52 of out is long enough for them to do all the machines.
We used to call it, we used to invest in it. What's the seat you need your computer and operate this is. What?
Yeah, no, that's not too good. That was the one thing.
You can, I get the
When
digital
went
version
to,
like 23 bucks.
With my dad, we saw they had, I mean, California was kind of where it was at for that kind of stuff, you know, and at least it's Dallas was a 5-hour drive.
That's what they want.
I wasn't going on some drive, whatever, I didn't even know. but
I don't know what
out
that
there,
is. They know
they
this.
had-
As soon as it's
They
flushing
had
all.
some big computer
64K
shops
brand
out
out,
there,
yeah.
and, oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know how else you do that. Menu up and go right.
Whereas whenever I went to Dallas, the only place I could go would be like
Yeah, it's gotta be
veins,
pretty big read.
whatever, bandages or something. They might have a
This is,
handful of, you know, games. That when I was out in California,
this is a brand new
watched
game.
Shadow
David
of
on
the
his channel.
Sure.
This is
all
one of
night.
the
Yeah.
Plus for, like a Mario
No
platform.
more.
But
Yeah, one
amazing.
point we were doing pretty good on it. We go.
And then this
Easy
one.
computing, then
Ah,
the ads.
Yeah.
Boy, you know, place over in the house.
There was some place that you could rent the media
Oh, gosh.
games.
I got a fun one, I lived here in Arlington.
But,
New
and
York.
then I got another one.
And we had this
It's funny
awesome
one.
storage tobacco over there, so we got this walls and walls of games. You go in there and you just, you got one line there, so you go out,
Yellow
get your
cheese
credit card.
cartridge.
Bring it
It's
out
like
for a
velvet
certain
nuts.
period of time.
Yeah, I said, guess it's,
We dropped it, we were actually in
I don't have my
Abilene, had mail it back.
Well, this, that place was going like crazy. This is supply.
This is the Commodore 64 playing.
That's
Right over there, little building still there. I don't know why I think about that.
Yeah.
He has like, it's like Mario getting fireballs, you know, it's
You know,
Seems
he
like
was here
pirates
pretty well for a while,
still-
they were just Commodore just.
I forgot it goes.
I don't know, until when it officially went bankrupt.
But this
I
is
didn't hear
a side
anything more about
story
it, really, other than that. It was
on
kind
a
of
Commodore 64.
gone, and I didn't know anybody. In fact, run into people, it's like I run into
Yeah,
people
it's
now.
running like a high-end bidder.
Yeah, that's why I was like, man, this is really.
But But now I've got the one thing I'm trying to do.
It has a little map with Mario.
You guys have probably done a million times, but I've never done it. I'm trying to cut a ribbon. Because this,
Now, this is like
external
modern retro.
Right.
this drive emulation
We'll really figure out how
box,
to get the most out of it.
it's got an adapter so you
Yeah.
can plug it into the external floppy port, but the little cable on it is only about this long. And the cable itself is attached to the little header that's attached to the board.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
it's like, I can't just pull it off or something, so I'm trying to build.
Yeah, it's a little harder with joystick. I apologize.
Well, I've never done.
David's like, I said, should I bring something?
So
I said,
anyway, I
I
had to
don't
do a
know.
little research on what it had, but, unfortunately, all that stuff's down to fries
Like a
still.
switch.
So I went and bought a clamp that you can do it for about, that was the most expensive thing, was the clamp. I was like, why it justified, and I thought, well, maybe something else, or, it was like $20 with that, and the other part was like $1 each. But
We
then
used to
so
replace
it
his
was
cables. We went through a lot,
Yeah.
special cables this and that.
But,
I'd watch
yeah, this is,
cables.
who makes.
yeah,
She was asking me how to test it because I guess they sent him for a copy.
well, this is
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know if I get it right, but if I get it wrong, I'm gonna spend $1 for another,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Well, we,
Copy there.
That's what
you
you
have
catch
to
it.
but see,
we didn't work, I never make it all,
Yeah,
just
film
work.
Yeah, I guess the good news is I feel, now I know how to test for continuity and I can
And they just
get a,
give you a link to a zip file, which has both the power.
So
and the
cheap,
CD and
get a, what do you call it, a voltage, multimeter thing, and just and test it out.
When I first moved out,
Slower.
Yeah,
He said, well,
yeah, I had trouble with it because I was, I have a
25
Sony S
pins,
pad that I use.
and he said, well, tell me about it.
But I was trying to flash update the top adapter.
Come back, went home, got this.
I was trying to flash update and forgot to.
Here's what they should be doing. Oh, no problem.
I had that for my.
Well, they work in the rig. When I come out,
Atari ST.
I told him I'd have like 5-foot cables.
What problem is he couldn't get to work through the.
And it worked.
That's awesome, that's awesome.
I go to steal one of those machines.
That's what I try to do, to just get someone to build something custom like that, with 34 pin, it's so rare or whatever, they just, they want
Okay.
bulk orders, or, it's like, oh, I just need to
You
do
like
that.
that?
And
Yeah, the
so
Mario
there was
bouncing
that,
off
and
walls.
then there was just, just
You should be able to.
trying to get it in the door.
You go through the door, but you can see what the
The
good
same thing I
walls.
did with the guy in Germany.
Look at this wall over here.
English.
Jump.
There's, limited English. No.
Okay.
He spoke English, because he had built a ROM switcher he did a ROM switcher or whatever, but the schematics were only in German, and I knew that he couldn't read it, and so I scanned them and sent it to him or whatever and paid.
It's usually what you do. What you do is yeah, so what you do is you get two of them, you bounce back.
Sure. That's the thing.
Now that you
Sometimes just, you don't have
Yeah, I think we're
to
not
have information for those people and
I'll just think.
different things happen.
And turn the volume down, that's louder.
I got the cables,
I'll go through this.
I don't know how many different years, and we took him over to him. And one day over there, he bought the thing next to him. Working with it. Had it
Yeah, I gotta play before. I think I've got Ultimate 2.
display there, all the cable and stuff. I said, oh, this is really good. What's it gonna be?
God.
Store is gonna be, with this being just a working reason. People come in here and think this is some kind of dump or something, and they don't want to deal with it, so I'm gonna fix that all up. Well, okay, I guess.
Yeah, there's something up there.
That might make sense. I went next time over there and it was all done. It was blew all the money trying to fix that thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got profit margins so small and stuff like that, you gotta pay rent.
Oh, yeah. And it kept, so 43 pin connectors was used for that video, because I'd send him so many people for weekly cables over there. He said, yeah, I'll keep those aside. Enough people put over there asking for those.
Dude, I got lucky and found one on eBay, 23-9 recently for a reasonable price.
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, because of the resurgence of that sort of thing, you've got more people that are willing to do that sort of stuff, and they get into it.
Yeah.
It's like the new hardware.
Mm-hmm.
People that, like Jens Schoenfeld, whatever, doing all his AGA or his flicker fixer onboard stuff, and you get new people developing new hardware stuff to fix some of those problems.
Right.
It's pretty impressive.
Or sometimes you can convince the Chinese to make some new tooling for some of these things.
Yeah.
Or at least 3D print, you know, because I've been looking at, okay, the only thing that's stopping me from 3D printing some of this stuff is just like, I don't know what kind of plastic they're using, what the heat tolerance is, because I don't want this thing melting if something gets really, really hot.
Yeah, that's one of the issues.
And I got a buddy of mine who does a lot of that stuff. To me, it's just, okay, you can drop a whole lot of money really fast to build, you know, a $3 little box.
Right.
You know, things like that. And it's just kind of like, you know, and for me, it's like I've got enough projects and things. I can't justify it at this point. But I thought about maybe, you know, it would be neat to be able to go to somebody else and say, hey, can you build this for me? You know, and so that would definitely be a pretty cool service, I think. But I don't know how they make a lot of money on it, or it's how big you want it.
That's the thing with the all the RGB CGA stuff I have. It's like, you know, what's it cost because of the little boxes put in? It's like, I do my wife's like, always get a little Tupperware containers. Yeah, it looks like crap, but, you know.
You
know, because the cost is gonna.
That's right. And a lot of times, it's like somebody was complaining to, I don't remember who it was, for their hardware that they were building for the Amiga or whatever. And they're like, the guy's like, look, I do this on the side. This is not my main job. I do this as a hobby. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm out of these. Or these production, or no, they're mad because of the price he was charging. And it's because I don't sell, you know, I'll break even if I sell 100 of these.
Right.
And, you know, people just don't think that way a lot of times. They don't, you know, they don't realize that it's like, yes, you can go buy, you know, a new super powerful, you know, laptop for, you know, $500 to $1,000, or, you know, whatever. But it's like, if you want something that's entirely new, you're not going to pay. You're going to pay a lot more because they're not going to sell as many, and they don't have the, you know. So there's, I don't know.
I've run into that some. Yeah, the worst thing I'm running into now is like I decided to get into some Tandy stuff, and then the Young Sheldon show had a thing on Radio Shack and Tandy.
Yes.
And suddenly I'm like turning around trying to buy a memory upgrade, the price doubles.
Oh no!
That's so,
you know, everything with the word Tandy on is gold now. You know, but suddenly, oh, Tandy. You know, it's
Yeah, 'cause it was never like that before.
That's just like whenever this, you know, for like streaming and stuff like that, to do like a green screen. This guy on the YouTube put up these videos about how, if there's different lights, you do lighting for, you definitely already know, I don't know. But anyway, these box lights or whatever, they're used to light the green screen in the back. And typically they can cost thousands of dollars or several hundred for, you know, stuff like that. And this guy did a video of how to go down and use a fluorescent work lights that you use and put them on a pole from Home Depot and stuff, about $50 each. Give you the model number and stuff like that. Next thing you know, the prices for some of the stuff he's using doubled, and people trying to, you know, it was just like amazing how that word gets around. And
it's funny, talking about the other LGR, one of the other YouTubers that's also the Lazy Game Reviewers.
Yeah.
He did he found this guy on eBay that sold old new stock of IBMs, IBM 5170. And I read the comments. Within 2 hours, the guy's eBay stock was gone.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, of those. I mean, we're talking like $500, you know, for a 286.
Yeah.
I mean,
and people with kind of, I mean, the generations have grown up and they have more disposable
Well, yeah.
income, and they can do that. I mean, that's kind of,
I'll find a used one. I'm you know,
I'm patient, similar to that stuff will turn out. Just like the little classic Super Nintendos.
Yeah.
Everyone was snapping up, paying big money for or whatever. So I finally found one. It's like, you know, it's Walmart for $80.
I got an Atari ST on eBay for $40 shipped.
Nice.
The guy didn't know whether it worked or not, which is one of those gambles. But I'm like, well, if it doesn't, you know, maybe get parts out. Because I've got stuff that hasn't worked, but you know, there's stuff in it that's good. I can find another one and make.
Right.
And you know, what's the only problem with it? Power supply soldering issue. So I plugged it in standard. Built one with the built-in power supply. plug the thing in, set it on top of like a block of wood just so it made the contact, boot it right up.
Yeah.
Now, if y'all investigate, speaking of power supplies, the new modern power supplies from Commodore 64.
There's one right there.
Oh, you got one on there. Okay.
That was not cheap. That came from France.
I was going to say you probably paid like 90 or 100 for it then.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a travel trailer at the time, so had to fit in the box, had to be weight.
Yeah.
So that's solid state.
Yeah.
It's light as a
That's
feather.
Oh, wow.
That's how I tell them.
See,
The existing ones.
I bought one for the Amiga that I haven't even tested it yet, or sounds something, but I ordered it from, it came from Poland. And basically all it is it takes a ATX connection, it goes to a box, and then it goes to the Amiga connector or whatever. So at the very least, I can just use a standard ATX power supply. It's got a switch to turn it on, so it's like, to me, it's kind of like, so if the power supply blows up or use a hole or something like that, I can do that.
Yeah, that has all the voltage regulators. When it takes a surge, it'll shut the surge down.
Cool.
The other thing is, I from Ray Carlson, which does sell a power supply, one an expensive one, they're not pretty, but I bought the +4 adapter. My +4 came with one that's the same problem the Commodore 64 ones do. Regulator will go and it'll dump 12 volts on your logic.
Huh?
Yeah, +4.
I bought a +4 one time, and the guy sold it to me saying it was back in the day. He said, "Yeah, I got a Commodore 64. I'll sell it to you for, $20. I don't need it or whatever." And then I got home and got it, and I didn't know anything about it. I was like, "This is the strangest." And I was a kid. The strangest thing I've ever seen. I was like, "This doesn't look like it." I mean, it says Commodore 64 or some Commodore +4.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe it was like a newer version. And then I go and find out it's just like after a little bit of research, which I don't even know how I found out back then. It was no internet, or whatever. It's completely incompatible with Commodore 64 and had nothing to do with it. And I was like, and this guy I was a freshman in high school at the time, and this guy was a senior, and he didn't do it to rip me off, of course. He just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so he's whatever, and he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Man, this is not." He goes, "Yeah, okay, sorry." And I gave him my $20 back. But it was just kind of one of those things where I did some more research, and I found out it was just another Commodore blunder where they just came out with something completely, incompatible.
What's
with
funny
everything
is
else.
watch go YouTube Bill Hurd on the talk, one of the talks on it. It was supposed to be a ZX Spectrum killer.
Okay.
It was supposed to be. That was supposed to be a $50 model and a $70 model, and the Commodore 64 was $250. The idiots in Commodore marketing made it $299. So it was supposed to be a little cheap business computer, and you can see some of the modern games, like 120 color games on a +4. I basically want all the 8-bit line saved in PET. So I have a VIC-20, I have a +4. I originally got a 120 as my first computer. And so I have a 128, and I have two 64s on PAL and NTSC, so I can play whatever. But that power brick, I got an adapter for the +4, but I was worried the power supply is going to kill the +4. And those are hard to get. They're not really popular, but they sold like 400,000 of them. It's not like 26 million 60 Commodore 64s.
Which is half as how many Amigas they sold in this one? Just a million Amigas?
Yeah. So they basically, that power brick, Ray Carlson, I had like $15 adapter, $10, $15 adapter. And so I bought it from him. And so I can plug that into the +4 too. They make a 128 one, but I have a 128 power supply.
I got a bunch of 128 and stuff like that with this guy's cord that I bought, whatever. And I didn't know. I don't remember what I did with it. I want to say I threw it away.
Oh, geez.
Because it was just like, I don't know. I didn't know that. I figured there was a Commodore 64 following, and I didn't do a whole lot of research on it. But I was just like, and it was pretty beat up. It was yellow and stuff like that. But it was just kind of like, there was so much stuff to go through that you remember there's the guy I got the 68060 from. I came home with, and this was a too good to be true story because I thought that this guy, was some kind of rip-off deal or some kind of setup or whatever. But he wanted $150 for all this Amiga stuff. And I was like, I said, well, I brought $190 with me because I just thought, whatever. Yeah, so there was all the cash I had. So anyway, I was like, checked it out. And it was over out this side of Weatherford or something, White Settlement. And I live in Plano. And so I get all the way over there. And this guy's like, I'm going through a divorce. I just want to get rid of this stuff. I don't care if it's in these boxes, whatever, take it out. And I was like, well, this stuff's probably worth more than that. Because he showed me he had like 2 Amiga 3000s.
Oh, wow.
He had the Amiga 1200 with the 68060. Had all this stuff. And I'm like, this stuff's worth probably more than this. He's like, well, I don't, I don't care. I just want to. I said, dude, I'll give you all the cash I have in my pocket was $190. So I gave him $40 extra on there. That's all I had. And he's like, that's fine, take it. But anyway, I came home. I had my Altima at the time, and the entire car was filled with those tubs of just Amiga stuff. Everything from books to computers to everything. Amiga 600 in there, Amiga 600, Amiga 1200, two Amiga 3000s, all these books, all these discs, everything.
You put one of your kids through college with that. All that stuff.
So I ended up moving, but it took me so long to go through the Amiga. And that was the Amiga the Commodore 128 was in there, and at the time it was just multiple Amiga monitors, and I just didn't know what to do with all of that. And it was kind of one of those things where the 128 wasn't in that great shape, and so it was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe I gave it away or something like that. But
mine I bought off of eBay with an estate sale, and I had the box and everything. The only thing is, the estate guy was so worried about cleaning it up, he busted the F1 key.
Oh gosh.
Oh. Yeah.
And so it took me. I found them for 128Ds. They're a little taller. I'm sitting there. I got a set of measured them with calipers and side cuts, snap, and he ended up trying to clean. I ended up having to do so. I had to do a little solder dab because they just tried to super glue it, and I got down there and lost connection. So other than that, it was pristine. So I got a guy from a CFO of a financial company, one of the Commodore 128 groups, sent me of F1 key for free. I was like, what do you want on for it? Because I can't find one. So I was able to reassemble it back together. It works great. I put Pete sinks in it and stuff.
That's good, because this guy's mastered retro writing and stuff, and I can't do it for whatever reason. So whenever I try and do it, it's like the keys came out like halfway, and I tried, I don't know, so many things. They can never get it right.
David has a good video on retro writing.
I've watched multiple videos of it, and it never came out just right. Yes. Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Watch his video. It's really good.
Okay.
I go down like Sally's video. It's funny when in Marion, Indiana. I'm walking in in fact, I was dressed worse than this, and I was like, I came in.
The wrong store.
And it's like they're looking at me going, okay. I said, I need number 40.
Yep.
Number 40 volume.
This is what I brought in here.
I need clear and I need cream.
Yeah, I think mine was. Yeah, I think mine's like 30 or 40, but it was the same. It's ordered it online or whatever. It's the same high powered stuff. Yeah. It just I was using you did yours outside. I was trying to use a black light.
Oh, we use it outside.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's what led me.
Well, Texas sun will be awesome.
Yeah, that's what led me to ordering the keycaps and stuff like that, so I didn't even have to mess with that.
Yeah.
And
that's one thing. You have 75 more days of sunlight than I have in Indiana. Yeah. Makes a big difference.
That's one thing we need to have.
But even still, get yourself a little autoclave or something with the UV lighting sticking in there in the wintertime, it'll still be fine.
And the way it is, it would work, but it just would always be patchy. I'd try and slather it back on, and it would, and it was such a pain in the ass.
You can get patchy sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta watch the patch. I had that with my 2C. I gotta do that one up, and I've got
you don't want to do it.
What's funny was, because I went in there, I got the smaller bottles, I wanted to try it the first time. I went in there a couple more times, and I got the nickname the 80s computer guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the 80s computer guy buying more bleach. Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's see, for your 2C, how many games do you have for it?
I don't know. I got a bunch on an SD card.
That's good.
What's a big old mess of wires? It has a little. I got the Rev A, which you got to power it down. It's a little flaky, but you buy a little adapter. It has the LCD screen on it. Put it all on an SD card. And so I don't know how many I have. It came with a bunch. He has some of the, I put like Oregon Trail and Odell Lake and stuff I remember from school when I was a kid. And so I do a lot of like the virtual floppy stuff because other than the Amigas.
You have to.
Well, because I just don't have them.
Well, that and the fact that they just break down so quick. I mean, I've got a bunch of floppies, but they just they're just too.
That's one project I have on my agenda is pop that in 128. Because that estate sale came with like development languages and DBase and some other stuff. You're probably hard to find. So I was going to image all that stuff, either on that or
Get it done.
Yeah, we got that SASC compiler stuff that we split from some guy who was in here selling stuff. And he wanted to just get rid of it. I'm only going to offer you what I can, because I don't pay big money for this kind of stuff. I only bought, but we bought like an Amiga 4000. And,
Oh, yeah.
I did a couple of things, but it's like I'm not trying to. He's like, you can say no, but this is a lower offer. But this is if you want to sell it right now, and he wanted to sell it, so
Yeah.
I picked up a few things too.
Yeah, we went back and forth on some books and some peripherals. I got a bunch of music stuff. I got a bunch of floppy disks.
Yeah, and I thought I'm like, hey, you still have like this? Yeah, it's sitting in a closet.
Yeah, that's the thing I've ran into is just I went through all the DOS and all the Macs that were on HD. We're not the weird 800K stuff.
Mhm.
And so I went and did. I was working. I had an office when I was in Indiana. And so what I would do is I would have my work computer set because I work remotely, and I had my personal computer with USB floppy drive that would read 720K stuff.
Oh, cool.
And a Blu-ray recorder, and I was feeding that in, doing DD and writing disk
Yeah.
images. Basically just feeding them and just writing that. And the next time I took the Mac home, bam, it went on Time Machine. And so all that stuff I preserved. I mean, it came out of my parents' basement. The Amiga stuff is again, you got to have something that reads Amiga discs. So
The way I got around that at the time though is getting us. I thought CDs, because CDs have used the CD file system, and so you can get those.
Oh yeah,
I had one thing, so that's the way I was able to move a lot of ADFs and DMS files over to the Amiga. There at the time was just CD. The trick was getting a damn CD drive. Now, all y'all know about getting a CD drive to work with the Amiga.
I still haven't that one.
What I'm doing is with the Amiga is one of my 500 came with an external 3.5.
Yeah, mine has an external 3.5 as well.
And so what I did is I replaced the internal with the what's it, GoTech.
Yes.
Okay.
And so basically I can feed disks and zap it onto an ADF on the
That's kind of the same thing that I did, except for I wanted the GoTech to be external because I want to be able to put that on any computer I've got. But then I wanted to boot from that, and that's why I had to have the switch in the back.
Yeah, you have a lot of. I have two, so I bought two GoTechs.
Well, but then again, the difference is you branch out in a lot of different retro areas, and him too. I'm Amiga only and modern PC gaming. That's it.
See, I don't do modern PC gaming. My kids weren't into it. He has like an 8-core AMD FX with an NVIDIA 1050 on it.
Yep.
It's like, here, you can have it. I don't, whatever I have will work within the VMware Fusion with a few games.
Yeah.
It provides enough of the Mac GPU to do what I need. So most I do is retro gaming, the Commodore. I have the 8-bit line. I've got 2 Amigas. I've got a handful of Macs, both classic, all port. I try to go for portables. The only thing desktop I have is other than the all-in-ones, which I have a Tandy that's all-in-one. I have a Tandy RL1000, which has been a pain in the rear. The thing's like a brick. You wouldn't think it was that heavy, but
I've been an RLX. It's really not that bad. It's pretty compact.
Is it? But it was heavy. It was a waste. It's like all solid steel.
It is pretty solid.
Yeah, the thing is, the Amiga was kind of like those. Since I just do Amiga, then I've just got like really the Amiga 2000 and maybe the 4000 that I have. But I have a special little area set up just for kind of Amiga stuff and things like that. So it kind of makes it a little bit. I don't have a lot of the other computers, so I can keep those, but I still have probably too many.
I got the idea from former boss who sent me an article about a guy. His son wanted to do like the latest gaming. And so he did this whole history of gaming with his kid. He started Atari 2600. And so I got the idea with computing. It's like, let's go through my history of computing. Start out with Commodore 20. We'll grab a ZX Spectrum and an Apple IIa. Why not? And so I've gone through. I haven't gone like sequentially as well, but I will pull an 8-bit era machine. I'll pull the Amiga out. I have DOS. I have like XT 386. Well, no 46. Pentium M, 95, 32. I'm pretty up through the 32-bit era. And I do laptops. I got that idea from David Murray because it's like you can actually get, when he puts a video out, like I got a Toshiba 440 CVT. I bought it right around the time he put the video out because that was one of on the list, and I was like, that's really good. It has the sound blaster, it has all the, it's opinion, but it has all the things. It has USB too, which is great. And then I went a couple months later, I wanted to see if I could get another one. Yeah, good luck for less than $300.
Oh, jeez.
Network effect of YouTube.
Yes.
Oh,
usually.
yeah, that always
You know,
happens and stuff.
You know, so
And these guys saying, hey, go buy this, and everybody does.
yeah, he basically on that video, it's like MS-DOS gaming laptops, really good video.
Mhm.
He gives you a list of compacts
Mhm.
and a list of Toshibas
Mhm.
that tells you the specs. Like, you know, here's the optimal ones. Here's I got a little less than optimal,
Mhm.
but it has the sound blaster. It has all the things. And I wanted USB
Mhm.
because I had to use it as a PCMCI on some, but it's nice to be able to boot Windows 98,
Mhm.
pop a flash drive in, and copy stuff off.
Now, was the Toshiba he was
Yeah.
looking at, was it like a Pentium or an x86?
It's a Pentium.
Okay.
It's like a Pentium 133 MMX is what I
Oh,
have.
jeez.
I have a
Pentium
4633
100.
too.
I
Yeah.
had a Pentium 133. I remember that had a little turbo.
Mhm.
Well, this is it's 800 by 600, so you do the stretch, you do the black
Yeah.
box thing, but it's active matrix. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, when this machine came out, like 97 or 98, it was probably $3 or $4 grand.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have the maxed out RAM, 64 mega RAM. I have a compact flash in it. The great thing about it though is my DOS builder,
Mhm.
because they have a little door here and it's on a tray. You pull the whole hard drive thing out tray. I just leave the back screws in. I can push up, pull the compact flash. So when I built the Tandy, I grabbed this compact flash, popped it in. I have an external floppy for it.
Mhm.
DOS 5, SysC, bam,
Yeah,
pop
but
it back in.
just try and go back and play some of those old DOS games, like some of those adventure games, and it's like I spend about 5 minutes playing King's Quest 4, and I'm like,
Yeah, I never did the text adventure stuff.
hey, I'm done. And it's not even really a text; it's a graphical adventure.
Yeah,
but
but
at the same
you
time,
gotta
you have
keys
to type in
it,
stuff
right.
like that, or just adventure games in general. I just don't have the
Yeah,
time or
I don't do
patience
that.
It takes a lot.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So even it's even retro stuff like that, it's still fun to get it, but it's hard for me to play.
See, I don't play that kind of stuff anymore on that. I play like Joel the Jungle. That's an easy, 5-10 minute Jackrabbit, whatever. It's a platformer. Tyree in 2000. My 6-year-old can kick my butt at that. He has a killer hand-eye coordination. I don't know where he came from. My 3 kids. This is the athlete. I mean, he could hit this ball and he could beam his brother with a ball 20 feet away. Also destroyed the TV.
Which one was that third one?
The youngest one, 6. He's
No, but the
quite
game you
forward.
mentioned.
Tyree in 2000.
Okay.
It's 2000 that fixes it.
Mhm.
But it's the vertical scrolling shooting thing.
Ah.
You have a spaceship, you get upgraded, you shoot everything.
Gotcha.
And I like stuff like that. If the most involved stuff will be the Win32 era.
Mm.
I might play some Diablo. I might play some like Star Trek. What is it called? It's like the Command and Conquer meets Star Trek. I can't even think of the name of it. Not Elite Force. That's a shooter.
Star Control.
No, those are actually Star Trek. What is
It's a legitimate Star Trek. Are you
That's
guys
what
ready to go just a while?
Yeah, I
Or-
need to back up
So
too.
I don't mean to rush you guys, but I didn't know if they're gonna close down here or what.
Oh yeah, it's almost 4:30.
So,
Yeah, it's I can't think of the name of it. They had 2 of them. I mean, yeah, if you play the single player, it has all the actors' voices in it. But it's a CD-ROM era type game, and that's one I'll spend 2 or 3 hours. I'll play.
I wish you even had the time for that.
I haven't had.
But I have more time now since my daughter moved to Oklahoma. I'm going to school up there.
Well, David's pretty much been doing this full time, right? He's a YouTuber. I remember when he said on his channel when he quit his
That's a good extra room too.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing.
remember that.
Yeah, you
I was
go
in
there.
I was in
I
Little
think-
Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Since
I'm
I'm,
like,
I'm
must be
single,
self-employed.
and it's like I have my
Yeah,
master.
so I was
I'm
getting
not
ready
in
to
the master bedroom. I have a big
And so I was
closet.
like, it was all
It's like,
dark.
oh man, I only need
Basically,
so
I
many
got-
clothes, so I cut
I
it
went with
in
one
big
division.
closet. I cut the closet in half. That's my Amiga work area.
Okay, we're shutting down now.
Over what date?
Yeah, yeah. So there's.
And so.
See you
I
next
remember
time, I
that.
hope.